It is well known that persons who have a criminal record have great difficulty renting a top quality apartment. In episode 7, I explained why landlords check for a criminal history. And in this episode, I will explain how I review criminal histories of people who want to rent from our apartments and how I decide whether to make an exception or not. Welcome to this episode of Better Apartment, Better Life. I am your host, Jack, the apartment guru. In previous episodes, I explained that I've been a landlord for 33 years and that I've run thousands of apartments during that time. In previous videos, I also gave many pointers on how you can find an awesome apartment community for yourself and your family without breaking the bank. Before I get into this episode, I want to say, in the interest of full disclosure, that more often than not, at the property that I run, we will not make an exception for someone with a criminal record, for the reasons that I explained in episode 7. I also need to say that I'm only providing some general principles here. At the end of the day, whether to make an exception requires a case-by-case analysis, because everyone's background and history is unique. Another caveat is that I'm only speaking for the way we handle this issue at the apartment complex that I run. Other properties handle this issue way differently than we do. Some properties don't even check criminal records, while others will never make an exception even if the conviction is for a minor infraction 20 years ago. Finally, if you saw episode 7, you know the reasons why the easiest and safest thing for an apartment complex to do is to reject all people who have any criminal record, and most luxury apartment complexes do exactly that. Because we believe in giving people second chances, we do make exceptions at the apartment complex that I run, although I must add that many applicants are looking for third and fourth chances, and we don't make exceptions for third and fourth chances. Having explained the foregoing caveats, here are some situations where we have made exceptions. Example number 1. The easiest exception to make is when the crime was nonviolent and it occurred more than 10 years ago, and the rental applicant has been a model citizen ever since, with a good job, 2 great rental histories, etc. Another easy exception to make is if the conviction is for simple drug possession. I have never believed people ought to be prosecuted for possessing or doing drugs. Drug addiction is a medical problem. Drug addiction is not a criminal problem that is solved by putting someone in jail. Unfortunately, our society has not treated drug addiction in this way, and so we have literally millions of people in the United States who have a criminal conviction for simple drug possession. But again, the rental applicant needs to be a model citizen with a good job, 2 great rental histories, etc., without ongoing drug use. The applicant's job stability and rent payment record are especially important in this situation because significant drug use and/or addiction often make it difficult to hold down a job. Obviously, this principle applies to alcohol addiction just as much, if not more, than it applies to addictions to illegal drugs. The hardest exception to make, and I almost never make it, is when the applicant has committed a violent crime. The only time I would make an exception in such a case is if the person was released from jail more than 10 to 15 years ago and has been an absolutely model citizen ever since. I can tell you that I've only made this exception once in the past 10 years, and that individual turned out to be a great resident. In the next episode, I will provide some pointers on how a person with a criminal record can improve their chances of successfully renting an apartment. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and watch my other videos as well. If you subscribe below, you'll be notified every time I drop a new video, and I usually drop 1 or 2 videos every week or so. And if you have a question, please leave it in the comments and I will answer your question in a future video. Thanks for watching. I hope this video has been helpful to you. The dog you see here knows that there are no shortcuts to finding an apartment, and he's out and about looking for the best place to call home. I will see you again in my next video, but until then, happy apartment hunting!